Bingo. Hey, hey, everybody. Guess who it is? This is Maya, but you know me as DJ Maya when I'm on my radio show, the Mad Chatter Show, which this will be aired on as well. So it's Maya, DJ Maya. However, we'll just go by Maya today for my guest because that's what they know me by. So today is a very, very special interview that I have today with my two beautiful sisters. Sisters in healing. And so they're coming on to share their story. They got something really amazing going on that they've been doing lately, and we're going to share it with everybody so you can follow them and find out how you can be on their healing sessions. So anyways, with that all being said, I want to introduce Paige Garcia and Lindsey Robinson to my show. Welcome, 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 sisters. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Paige. I'll let you start, and then we'll let you introduce Lindsey, because I know you guys have a little bit of background, so I would like for the listeners to hear everything you have to say. So take it away.
I really appreciate that announcement. My name's Paige Garcia. I've been doing Dolores Cannon's work in QHHT, quantum healing hypnosis technique, and I'm also trained the same way Maya is in aura hypnosis. And I've gotten together with Lindsey here, and we formed our own little healing out of the knowledge that we've learned, and I'll talk to you about it after Lindsey tells you a little about herself.
It's Lindsey Smith, actually, is what I go by.
Oh,
I know it says Lindsey Robinson, and I hadn't catch that. But it's Lindsey Smith is what I prefer to go by.
awesome.
I am not trained in anything spiritually, technically. I have taken a couple courses. I have learned most of what I know from Paige, and the sessions I've done with Paige. By day, I am a developer. I develop websites.
Oh, wow.
Yes. So I just graduated college for IT, actually. So it's actually, my dream job, but it's not anymore because my spiritual interests have changed since I started college. So I met Paige. I had an awakening. I met Paige. I had a session with Paige. And since then, that was 3 years ago.
Yeah, I think it was 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Wow.
And I have joined in on a lot of sessions with her, and I have had a lot of sessions with her. And I've also taken a class, a course with Andy Porter. And I do a lot of meditation and stuff on my own. And in my personal time, I practice good spiritual practices 24 hours a day. I keep a clear mind.
Lindsey is a good, really good when she goes into a hypnotic state. And I want to tell you a little bit about our sessions, which I facilitate. Our group is called Entity Removal and Healings. And what we do in this is that I facilitate while Lindsey goes into a hypnotic state. And I record it too. We have people that we do healings on that request healings and entity removals. And she goes into a hypnotic state and she uses her guides. Do you want to explain a little bit about your guides?
Yes, I have 5 guides that I work with. Yes, there are 5 of them. They get in a formation around me before I have a session to keep the space safe. And they do all the work for me, basically. We still use Archangel Michael and his healing sphere. Yes, we still use his assistance in that way. We still have the corrals that we have and we walk around with. And he clears those for us.
Let's explain a little bit about a corral, because people don't understand a corral. Wherever we go in our daily lives, we pick up entities off of people, but so that they don't harm us, they're given a corral, and then once a week they're cleared from our corrals, and Archangel Michael takes them out so that they don't harm us and they don't harm the people that they're attached to.
Wow. Now, do you know this is happening, or does this automatically happen because you're a healer? Is it your intention to pull these entities off of people?
We don't know it's happening at the time, but it is our intention that it does happen. We stated and talk to Archangel Michael that this is what we want to happen. And then when we meet once a week, we have them clean out our corrals.
Wow. Well, I definitely have to try one of your sessions, because this thought came into my head recently about that. I didn't know what it was called, but I was wondering, because at me being a healer and knowing that we could do this, I was like, is it possible? Would I be doing this and not knowing, like going into circles and cleansing them? And, because I know animals do it. They get reptilians attached to them, entities. And so that's really good. That's interesting. So how did you guys come up with this? Can I ask that now? Is it too soon?
I'm not sure. I think I was there when it was conceptualized, but I don't remember the details.
Oh.
It happened in a different session, not with us.
Yeah,
okay.
It happened with somebody else in a different session. So that's how we came up with that corral, that this person was being attacked. We knew that this person was picking up other people's entities, like especially family members.
Right.
But a few times they would attach to her and she would get attacked. And so this is how we figured out how not to get attacked by these entities that this person was picking up.
Wow. I have a soul sister who's my twin sister on the other side. In this life I met her, but that's her gift. She will walk into places and she can see the entities, and she removes them, and then she runs outside and pukes it up.
Oh,
like,
wow.
She has seen these entities, and one time it talked to her. That one entity talked to her. So that's wild. There's more people that's happening to now. Are you guys sharing these sessions on at all? Is it viewable?
We only share them to the people who we do them on, and the person is not present at the time when we do the session. Right. I record them as we're doing the session, and then I straightly send them to that person so that they understand what's going on. And everybody's different on what they need help with. And some people need help with their past lives and clearings. Some people need help with their children need clearings. And what we've been working on a lot lately too is animals. Healing animals, not specifically clearing, but I just received a dog from my brother-in-law who died, and he was never able to pick up this dog. And so the dog's we just picked it up 2 weeks ago. The dog's 8 months old. And he was never able to pick it up from the breeder. So we picked it up from the breeder. The dog was completely scared to death of me and my husband, anybody. And I already have 4 dogs at home. Wow. And the dog was completely scared of the dogs in the house too. It wouldn't go near them. And I'd even take the dog for a walk and come back home, and it'd do everything it could to not get it back into the house. And so I got together with Lindsey, and Lindsey and I get together on Zoom.
Okay.
We're not in person ourselves, because I live in Northern California. Lindsey lives in Ohio. But anyway, so we got together. Lindsey went into a hypnotic state, and we asked what we could do to help this dog. And Lindsey has visual too, where she could see that we knew this dog was beat up by other dogs. That's why it did not like it, other dogs. But Lindsay's seen it all by itself, where this breeder had a bunch of other dogs and it was totally lonely by itself. So it needed a lot.
Isolation.
Yeah.
Isolation was like the feeling, and what I saw was isolation.
Oh,
It needed a lot of healing. I don't exactly know what happened in the healing. I don't know if you can explain that at all. What happened with the dog's name is Patches.
I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember. I don't remember.
Was he different afterwards? Did you notice that the dog was
okay.
different?
I came out of the meeting and the dog's totally different. He's sitting on my husband's lap and wanting lovings. And he's playing with all the other dogs too, with toys and everything. And he wants to be part of the family. He's sleeping in my son's room. Totally different personality. The healing was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I just got goosebumps. Thank goodness. That's awesome. So that's great. You're working with animals, you're working with people. Yeah. See, I love the work that you guys are doing. It's very similar to what you're doing with Wendy as well. Which is how I found you guys, how I found Lindsey, because Lindsey was in the groups there. Those were phenomenal too. So that's good that you're doing this, Lindsey. Like, how amazing is that for you to be under and to be guided like that? When I do my sessions, I try to always like give people a gift, you know, something like that's phenomenal. And I think this is one of the best things that we could do for people is when we go under and could do the healing for people, you know. But what is it like for you when you're doing it and you're seeing it now that you're doing it more often? Because you weren't doing this before, right?
I've been doing it every week for the past, how long, Paige? I'm not sure. 3 months, 4 months.
Yeah.
Nice. Wow.
About that long, I'd say. And I only do it once a week. But I also do the same thing by myself during the week, throughout the week. So
Nice.
Yeah.
So you're able to put yourself in a hypnotic state and do your own work for yourself?
Yeah, I can. I'm somehow able to stay conscious during it. So I know everything that's going on. I can stay awake and conscious for it. I'm not sure how to explain it.
No, I understand, because when I'm doing my sessions now with people, it's on a whole nother level. They're like awake, but they're not awake, you know? Like,
yeah. So
some of them even open their eyes and they're talking to me with their eyes open, but they're seeing things on the other side.
Right.
So
I remember it, but I don't remember it, you know, like I can remember it, but I can't remember it. And then I can do it on my own because I can stay conscious. I can be the director, you know, and I can work with my higher self, and I can, we write in this green notebook. We write a list of every objective and intention that we have for the session that we do by ourselves. And I remember it, and I stay conscious during that. And that's how we do it on our own.
Wow.
So
amazing.
Right. So like as an example, last week or so, there was a little girl who had a very negative attachment. I don't even want to say the name because I don't want to give it energy. But she had a very negative attachment. And Paige was getting ready to go out of town, I think, or you had the class that you had. She was getting ready to go somewhere, and we couldn't do it that weekend. And so I just went in that night and removed it. And there was noticeable changes in her behavior afterwards. It took like a week to get a response from the person who asked me to do it, but there were visible changes, essentially.
Wow.
Yeah, so I'm able to do it by myself as well. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Good for you.
Lindsey's also amazing in the healings because she could see inside of a person's body and see what's going on inside there. And she
When
also,
she's under in
yeah,
the
when she's under,
hypnotic trance.
inside the person's body. And she could also do clearings on houses too. Not, yeah, just not on the
Awesome.
person and on the houses. Make sure that all the energy is cleared in the house.
Nice.
I have a thought form that I created that I work with that goes by the name of Roan. And Roan is a light worker. Roan works with light, and it's masculine energy. He uh uh does different things with light. Like he'll make like an umbrella of golden light pour over somebody, and it will heal them in a certain way that they need to be healed. Or he he works with these golden coins that he sends at people's chakras, and when they connect with people's chakras, they open their chakras and activate their chakras. And I've seen all of the people in the group lined up and him sending the coins out, and the coins like hitting their chakras and golden energy and light coming from their chakras. So it's
Wow.
right. So and it's essentially it's me doing it. Like it's my mind and my energy doing it. But he can be in the fifth dimension and work for me. So
Right.
that's kind of what I've done and with that.
That's awesome.
So that's another
See,
way I heal. Yeah.
we're getting creative. I love that. I love that where people are taking things to another level in
Yeah.
this work.
Yeah.
I
That
want to
is
mention
so
something.
important.
I want to mention something else that we use is sometimes when you scan the body, even when Archangel Michael scans the body, he doesn't always see stuff. Sometimes he messes stuff. And so
Yes.
we've been using Divine Mother's halo, and I asked Roan to go ask Divine Mother for her halo so he could see everything in the body. So Roan uses Divine Mother's halo, and it's kind of neat how he uses
Yeah,
it.
he spins it like if you had your finger on a coin and you spun a coin like this, he spins it
Uh-huh.
around the person, but it's a big coin. It's a
Wow.
huge
Halo.
coin.
Halo. It's a halo.
Halo, yes. Sorry, it's as if you were spinning a coin, but it's a halo he's spinning. Yes,
Right.
yes, yeah,
That is so
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
And what do you use to remove like the entity attachments? What do
My
you do
guides,
anything special? Do
my
they
guides do
use
it.
like nets? I know my Archangel Michael's got a big net that he uses when I find like millions of them. He's like, I need a big net. And so we have like this huge gigantic net. Do you use anything, any objects or anything when you're doing yours?
Um, I see it. I I like them to show it to me so that because that connects the energy, and that the energy from my mind seeing it makes it happen even like stronger. I feel like I don't know
Right.
this for a fact. I just go off of what I feel, in the sessions.
Hmm.
Yeah. So sorry. So yeah, so what I see is I don't necessarily see an image, but I see like shadows. And I see the body shadow, and I see the five guide shadow flying around them and releasing all the negative energy. Um and then they usually confirm with me they're clear. I don't know how they do it. I know I just met in meditation the other night the I guess the head guide. Her name is R.A.A.H, A-R-O-N-A, R.A.A.H.
Wow.
She stands in front of me when they get in their formation around me. But I'm not sure how they heal. I guess that would be something I would have to explore more with them.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm not
Cool.
sure. I'm not sure.
In our sessions, we don't get too involved with what kind of entity it is because Lindsey does not want to get an attachment, because if she gets too involved with, it's not like aura hypnosis, because if she knows too much about it, then she has a chance of getting attacked herself.
Well,
Really?
I wouldn't say it's because I'm worried about getting attachments. I just had an experience in the fall where I experienced a really traumatic experience, and I had a really bad run-in with some really negative energies, and it took me back down to zero. It took me to zero spiritually, and I had to start building all the way back up. And that experience happened, after I had been present in a lot of sessions with a lot of entities being removed, and I feel like I wasn't protecting myself enough, so I just needed to step back from it all. And I would rather focus on the healing part of helping people than the removing the entities part. So if I take the names away, I also take their power away. Like if you don't call a reptilian, they're not a reptilian. They don't have that power anymore. So I feel like by calling all of these entities by their names, you're giving them their power. So by calling them and then calling all of them negative energies, it takes their power away. At least for me, everybody's different.
Right.
Spirituality,
Yes,
everybody's different. It's
for
it's
sure.
a me thing. That's for me. So that was the reason mainly why. And this has been like a recent thing also.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I could see. That's understandable. Yeah, especially if it's not, I guess, aura per se, but I'm starting to wonder, you know, if there's, what I do in my sessions when I encounter things, I call in the Phoenix. The Phoenix comes right in and she's right there. And she comes in and it's like game over when she's in the picture. And she has made herself micro size. She went into a person's body and went inside and battled whatever was in there and dealt with it. It was crazy. So yeah, there's so much out there, and it's crazy how um there's more than one way to do it. And I'm finding there's a lot more people that are really doing the work. You don't really have to give the names and all that, but if you're removing something and you're replacing it with something, you're doing the work. They told me many people are doing the work. They're just doing it many different ways. So that's cool, because at first I was like, oh my God, you only have to be a practitioner. And then I started hearing other people saying, no, I actually remove this and I do this and that. And I'm like, oh, really? And
Mm-hmm.
so I asked, like, well, how is it you do it? What's your technique? What are you doing? I'm like, oh, okay, safe.
Safely, yes.
Right,
Safely
right.
by my guides doing it. I don't have to, I just see it, and I can control my energy when I see something, but I can't control it if I'm interacting with it, in a session enough. I feel so it's another thing. It's the safe way. It's absolutely, and that's what they taught me in the Andy Porter courses that I took, was that it's safer to do it this way. He's actually the one who taught me about using guides to do all this. So
Nice.
I have to give him that credit for that, because that now I literally can sit down wherever I'm at any point. I can close my eyes. I can connect with my guides. I see them get in their formation. I ask them to clear me. I feel it. They confirm, and it's done. I'm like, it's that quick now. So I'm really thankful actually that I did learn that from him.
Nice.
Yeah.
What does
Yeah.
he teach? He teach
He's a psychic
spiritual practice?
surgeon. He claims to be a
Okay.
psychic surgeon. He's in the UK. Um,
That's funny.
um,
That's what I call myself, and I was calling myself that way before I even knew it was a thing.
he actually does the hands-on, like in person, like hands
Oh,
over the person, pulling the negative energies out of them, like a surgeon, would.
right.
Right. So
I had that happen in my awakening, like the final stage of my awakening, because there were so many processes. That was the one gift that they gave me, was these two psychic Native American Celtic sisters, and one of them was a shaman, and the other sister said to me, "You need to see my sister now." And so I was like, okay. And so I saw her sister, and sure enough, she helped me put my fractals back together. There was like 5 of them, and she did some psychic surgery, and it was like a real surgery. I was laying there like a
mhm.
surgeon, like she had me go through the whole real process, like I couldn't eat certain things before for 3 days. And she put this stuff on me, and she was tapping me and pulling and chanting and Native American chants and stuff. And I was just like, whoa. And I could not believe that I laid there for 3 hours and I don't even know how I did it. It was amazing. And she did something to me. And I know because before I even went there for 3 days, I was in a trance making jewelry. And I didn't know why, but I was spent like $900, and I went crazy and bought crystals and jewelry and all this stuff. And next thing I find out is that one of my fractals just wanted to make jewelry. Like the 12-year-old version of me. And I'm like, thanks. You got me in a mess now, because I'm still making earrings and jewelry. So yeah, that's my thing. But so yeah, the psychic surgeon, that is really cool. So what's next with this for you guys? Are you going to be sharing any of these at all for the public? You know me, I always want to watch some good videos, but are you guys going to keep this private and wait for a book? Or how are you going to share these amazing stories of these healings? Are you going to bring your testimonies on, or any future plans for that yet?
I think Lindsey wants to go on to doing YouTube videos about this. Is that right?
More about consciousness and teaching people how to clear themselves of negative energy, like more different. It's going to be different. But I also have a TikTok account with 29,000 followers. It's at Nocturnal Rainbows 923, or Quantum Lindsey 5D. I'm not actually, hold on. It has brackets in it. So just search at Nocturnal Rainbows 923, because that's what the handle is. That's what it is. Okay. Sorry. Because it has brackets in it. Like because I'm a developer, so I had to like make it developer-y. I had to like get my developer in there somewhere. So it has brackets. So it's hard to explain to people what the name is if they don't know what a bracket is. So just at Nocturnal Rainbows 923. Okay. And then YouTube would be Quantum Lindsey 5D. Okay.
Nice.
I haven't yet made any videos or posted anything, but I plan on it. Okay,
nice. That's awesome.
We also want to do other things for people besides the healings and energy clearings. We want they can ask questions, for donations. For donations, they can ask questions, because Lindsey's higher self's pretty good at asking any type of questions or helping them with whatever they need to.
Nice.
Yeah.
And what time do you guys usually do this on Sundays?
6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. About, not always.
Yeah, around 3 p.m. Pacific time.
Yeah.
But you have to remember the person's not present. I have a list of people, and I just go down the list and name them off and what particularly that they need. And I tell Lindsey's higher self when she's in a hypnotic state, and then we work on that person and see what's going on with them.
I love how you do that. Paige, I'm going to have to come to you and see if you can do a session for me. Have I tried yet?
No, you haven't.
I'm going to have to come to you. I had many try, but no one can get me under. So I'm going to have to try to come to you and see if you can help me out. Because I would love to be able to go under and do some cool stuff like that. That is really cool. I love how you guys do that for people. I think that is just phenomenal. That's what I want to do. That's my dream right there. Doing what your guys are doing.
This has always been my dream of doing this type of work ever since in the 1990s when I seen Edgar Casey. So this is kind of like his work too. I don't know why. I always knew that I would be the person facilitating, and that somebody else would be in a hypnotic state when we were doing the healings and energy clearings or whatever they needed. But from a young age, I could see myself doing this type of work. And I've always loved hypnosis, but I never thought that I could do it until I started listening to Dolores Cannon. When I started listening to Dolores Cannon, I watched all her YouTube videos and I go, wow, that's just amazing. I want to do that. That would be a dream. That would be a dream for me. And then I thought about it, hey, maybe I can. And then I looked into the training, and Dolores Cannon had training. And from there, I was listening to Alma Weinman, and she took off entity attachment. And that was my next dream, was to take off entity attachment. And in one of my sessions, one of my clients, he had a whole bunch of entity attachments, and his higher self kind of guided me along on how to take off entity attachments before I went into aura hypnosis. And then aura hypnosis went a little bit way deeper into the different type of entities and how to remove them. And that's what I loved about aura hypnosis.
Yes. You know, when I found Dolores Cannon as well, I had already heard about Edgar Casey. So when I heard about Dolores, I was so excited. And like you, I was super obsessed. But I was obsessed because I thought I was being abducted by aliens. I was like, I need answers, And I wrote her, her daughter wrote me back 2 months after she died. I was like, just missed her. And I had tried a couple years. I was like, okay, maybe I'm ready. Maybe I need to. And I called, I think it was Dr. Brian Weiss. I called him and I told him my story and I didn't know what to do. And the first thing he said to me was, what took you so long to get here? And I just cried. I was like, oh my God, somebody understands me. And then he was like, I can't help you, but I know somebody who can. And he sent me to Alba Weinman. And she's the first person that got me under in 5 minutes. I couldn't believe how she did it. It was literally 5 minutes. And it was phenomenal. And I had so many entities the first day that I couldn't even get past anything because she had to remove so many entities, all these different beings. They were people, and they were decent people. Nothing creepy. And the next day I got all my answers, to why I went there. So she's just amazing. And I, like you, I learned from her to remove entities, and by studying aura as well, and already being a RA, or I was already RA certified. So I was like, this is the same thing. Let me just do this with confidence. And in my third session, I came across one of them, and it went smoothly. They got a little sassy at first with me. They were getting a little sassy with me at first, but then I got more sassier back with them. And after that, once I do everything with love and respect, now they know me. Now when they know when I'm coming, grab your bags and you better run, because this train is not going to wait long. So they know when I come, they're always like, please help. We got this and that. And so I like that. I put my name out there. They know when I'm coming, they better be ready, because that's the end of the line for them. So
I don't know if you've noticed, in the beginning when we did aura hypnosis, there was a lot of positively polarizing negative entities into the light. But now I'm not positively, they're polarizing any, that they're all good. I'm sending all straight back to source, because I don't think there's many left here that want to be positively polarized anymore. Have you found that out in your sessions or anybody else's session?
I haven't had an aura session in like a month or so, but the last time I did a session, the last time we encountered something, it was a reptilian that we were on my spaceship, and I have med beds on my crystal spaceship. So I had this thing where I was like, I'm not going to do any healing on people if I can't talk to their higher self. Because I want to be able to get to the higher self and feel confident in doing it that way. And then they're like, well, we're going to find another way for you to do it. And so they gave me this med bed thing on the spaceship. And so people can get in the med beds and they can scan their bodies and they can see what's inside their bodies with the help of the archangels and I have the Phoenix comes in and helps. And so I'm able to do removals on the spaceship. And I got the Draconians now. They don't fight me no more. Now they know, they go. I got Tara on the other side. I got a Draconian that positive polarized. She comes and she helps me out. She talks to them and lets them know, like, it's time, you don't have to do this anymore. And she beautifully talks to them, and I still can do it. I haven't done it in a minute, but I haven't found anybody that's fighting me. I haven't lost any ships. I've lost a couple ships before because the Draconians weren't trying to positive polarize. So I was like, all right. And they had to go back to source. But ever since then, no, I kind of just am a little, I don't want to say cocky, but more like confident with them. I'm like, listen, I'm serious here. I'm like, if I call, I'm like, you know what I like to do? I like to scare them a little bit. If they're fussy in the body, and if they're like fighting around in the body, what I do is I keep them all in boxes first, and then I deal with the archons first, and I bring in that Phoenix fire, and I light them right up, and I let them know, did you not like that? Because if you don't leave, you're gonna be next. And so they're like they're like, okay, we're gonna go. But sometimes I have to show them like the power of creation, the power of source, the power of the angels, that they don't really have power that they think they have. So, but I always do everything with love, but it's kind of funny.
When I used to positively polarize them, and they'd say no at first, I'd say, hey, why don't you try it out? Try it out. And then they'd say, oh, okay, maybe, yeah. I said,
and once they feel that warmth, they're like, oh wait, we like that too much. You get them just like that. So yeah.
One of them asked, can I change my mind afterwards? I didn't want to answer the question, so I kind of went around it and said, well, just try it out first and we'll see.
That's hilarious. That's too funny. Yeah. Yeah, I still haven't had any craziness yet, thank goodness, knock on wood. But I've never encountered a mantis. I think like a couple times but like I haven't had a chance to talk to one. There was a positive one on my spaceship. There was a positive one there, but have you encountered any mantis?
Yes, I have quite a few mantis. And most of them are pretty negative, but we found a few. Me personally, I found a few good ones, not many, but I know somebody else that works with them all the time. I don't, yeah.
Interesting. I did ask them about the positive polarized ones that I changed, and they say that they go to like a healing place, and that somebody said they work with them. I can't remember who it was.
They go to the planet Jupiter, all of them that positively polarize, not really? Just men, but other beings, the reptilians, because it's like a college planet where they go to be trained.
Oh, there must be more than one place then.
Sustain their own energy, because they're not used to sustaining. They're used to taking other people's energy. They don't know how to sustain their own energy.
Oh, I'd like to look into that, because I've had 3 people that are from Jupiter, and we've been to Jupiter a few times, but I've never seen anything like that. So I'd like to take note and find out later. Like, so by the way, what's going on over there in Jupiter?
I went with one client. She went to Jupiter, but to be trained, and by, I don't know if you call them aliens, but they weren't human, but they looked human, and it was like she was in a classroom and they were teaching her different things. It was really neat.
Oh, wow. That's really cool. I had a client that was going to Jupiter. He found out that he was in the super space program for the future, and that I was an instructor that was teaching people how to quantum jump, how to time travel through portals, which is kind of what I'm doing already with the hypnosis
Wow,
sessions that I
that's
do.
amazing.
But I was like, oh, this is too wild. I need to know more. So I've had like 4 of them. I had like a 5, 6, 7 crew, but now I'm down to like 2. But yeah, we did some missions and stuff. Oh man, you have to look at my Cosmic Crusaders page. We've done some missions and they were pretty wild. But
I had a client that went to Mars, and I go, you know, you're not used to a client going to the future, but she described it as this desert, but she was wearing these goggles, and I go, well, that's not from the past if you're wearing goggles to be able to see through the desert. And then they lived underground, and come to find out she was like a mechanic or something that was helping Mars. They're all helped. There was a bunch of people living underground helping Mars change its energy for people to be able to live on it, on top of it. And one day they seen like a nuclear explosion. And the next time she went out above ground, there was greenery, plants and stuff that could grow. The air got better, and then it finally got better that it was like Earth, that people could sustain life on top of Mars. And that's what's going to happen in the future.
That's awesome. Now, Lindsey, do you get to see anything like this when you're when you're going under? Do you get transported to different places, or are you just like in a void? What is it like?
Paige and I don't ever try to do anything like that. I have went up and I've looked at the sun before. I mean, I go and I look at things on my own time.
Nice.
By myself, you know. So I suppose that I could. All you have to do is, I mean, once you learn how to connect with the frequency, you can do anything, because you just have to learn to connect with that frequency. Everything is frequency. So,
right.
You know, I can only assume that I could do all those things if I just find the frequency, which is doable. So, yeah.
Nice. Now, I wonder if you're ever going to be willing to like attempt to make contact with like fairies or unicorns or
Paige and I did.
creatures.
Paige and I did go look at the ship that hit the Boston Bridge. I think that was in Boston. Do you remember the ship that hit the bridge? We went
Baltimore?
Baltimore, yes.
Yeah.
Baltimore?
Recently.
Yeah, recently. Yeah. We went and I went down and I looked at it after it hit and saw I can't say stuff, but I saw what was going on. So we have done that before. But we typically focus on healing people. Once in a while there will be a random discovery thrown in there, but typically it's focusing on healing people.
Okay,
wow.
The last session, I myself discovered something. I don't know how much of a discovery it was for Lindsey, but we had this case where this man was able to harass this lady, but not in person, not in the physical.
Astral.
That he could astrally harass her and do all sorts of things and make her life a living hell. And I've had other cases where that has happened. I had another case where this man was in prison and he was able to rape this lady while he was in prison. My client, while he was in prison, horrible stuff like that.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
spiritually
do this stuff. There's
right.
people, and I thought it was black magic, but it isn't black magic. And I had this other friend that she had a beef with this other lady, and through this frequency, these people in England were they called themselves witches. They were able to come to her and harass her and attack her physically.
Wow.
And
that's crazy.
she had no beef with these people, and she said, hey, and she could do stuff spiritually herself, and she told them, hey, this is really cool that you could do this, you know, but you don't have a beef with me, you know, let's work together to do things. But they didn't want to do that. But anyway, she got together with her spiritual friends and got rid of them. But what I found out, I thought it was black magic, and it's not black magic, because we take you know, help people take off a lot of black magic. It's not black magic. It's just evil people that can find your frequency and do these things to you.
Oh,
Mhm.
gosh, like succubus type of energy. Like, would it
Yeah,
be
and
Yeah.
they
incubus,
get
succubus?
flesh, but it's not black magic. It's just they've learned to
Dark.
find frequency, and they could really harm you. I had this other case where this lady, she was in with this group, and they would go and do this to people and then try to con them out of money, you know. I know, crazy stuff like this. And
What?
she didn't want to do these evil things anymore, so she dropped from the group. And so then they were harassing her in the astral. Well, I wouldn't even say in the astral, in her personal life.
Mm-hmm.
And these people can hear them talk and being harassed. And they were harassed, and they were trying to get money out of her. This group was trying to get money out of her.
My goodness. There's
I
all
know.
kinds of sinister stuff going on out there.
Uh-huh.
That's crazy that you've come across those kind of people.
I
It's
know.
funny how I notice certain people or have certain clientele that they're drawn to, you know? Like certain people have, like I don't have those kinds of stories. Like those are wild stories. I have experienced it once in a session that's you can see on YouTube, where because we went on my spaceship, and my spaceship is a Pleiadian crystal spaceship. And so her name is Tandoori, and she's very particular. She doesn't, she doesn't like a mess. She's very clean and neat. And so my crew, we were having a very bad week. We were just all a little bit iffy, and they wanted to do a session. So we did a session, and I will never do a session like that again. And so we decided to do it. And one of the girls was still irritated and upset from her day, and she wouldn't let it go. And I'm like, you got to let that go. And she wouldn't let it go. And Tandoori was like, got mad at her for being on her ship with her low frequencies. And so I said, well, go raise your vibration, go do something, go find a room and do whatever you have to do to raise your vibrations. And I'm going to come back and find you, and I'll find out what happened. Meanwhile, I had to take care of the girl that was getting physically attacked. And so long story short, one of her family members was bad-mouthing her at that same time, and that caused this dark energy to come attack her. Mm-hmm. And so we had to clear all that out. It took a long time to clear it out. Archangel Gabriel assisted, Archangel Michael, the Phoenix. But then when she came back, she was like, oh, I think I'm in trouble now. And I was like, what did you do? And to raise her vibration, she brought Jason Momoa onto the ship to play Uno with her and have a food fight. And I was like, I thought it was kind of cute. I was like, well, you just tell Tandoori that I gave you a direct order. I'm your commander, so you should be fine. But I told her, and they realized, like, after that, not to play around, because they had low vibrations and they got on the ship, and it caused all kinds of chaos, And I've never experienced that before. And I was sitting there like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do now? And I just try to remain calm, and luckily everything turned out fine. But I was like, oh my gosh. So the girl has now decided to step back just a little bit. She's like, I better just get my life together first before I get back on your ship. And I'm like, yeah, but she was great. She had Mother Sophia come in, she was really great. But yeah, I go on tangents, sorry.
The Jason Momoa thing resonated, so it was funny to hear you say that. So
right?
Yeah.
And can you imagine for her? She was like, you should have seen him,
Yeah.
And I was just like, that's too funny.
Yeah.
But
I can picture it. I can picture it.
yeah, I've been just taking things to another level and just trying to find ways to work around things, and have fun at the same time, because it's also heavy sometimes for me that I have to take a break. I don't know about you two, but I have to take a break sometimes because I think I manifested it. I was like, I need to take a break. And it's been like a month, you know. But it just gets intense sometimes. I don't know if it get for you doing it on your own, how that feels, and working with all these different people and their energy. Like, what do you have to cleanse yourself afterwards, or take a day or two? What is your process like afterwards?
I mean, I don't really I don't get involved in the entity removal. So that doesn't take from me at all anything. And I
Yeah.
give energy. I think I give more energy into healing, these people instead of a connection. It's more me giving. Like and I can see what's wrong, so I don't have to connect with them to feel, because I can see. So that's another thing that
Hmm.
protects me. And I'm a really heavy empath in real life. Like I can see a scene on TV and it will take my breath away if it's a one of those kinds of moments. Like, it'll take my breath away because I can put myself there. So I've learned to protect my
Right.
energy. So I can protect my energy. I use that in sessions. I protect my energy in that way, because I've had to learn how to do that. So yeah.
Nice. That's good. Protection is the key.
Yeah.
Protection
Yeah.
is the key.
Yeah. What happened to me in the fall, it can't happen again, and I'm not going to let it happen again. So I had to reevaluate and change some things, and it's been good. So
Nice. That's good. It's all a process, It's a
yeah.
it's a growth process, and we're learning as we go. We're literally learning as we go.
Yeah. Yeah. And
We have.
another thing is that nothing is impossible. Your mind is what's doing it. The frequencies coming from our mind is what's doing it.
Mhm.
So anything that you create with your mind is what's going to happen, and is what is happening. And that comes with great responsibility as well. Like, I'm aware of that I can do these things with my mind. So it comes with great responsibility, but it's possible. So yeah. Just wanted to get that out there. So anything is possible. Use your creativity and try to, if think about something that resonates with you. If you like climbing mountains, close your eyes and picture yourself climbing a mountain. And when you reach the top, picture yourself you're cleansed. Like, as soon as you reach the top, like, I have goosebumps right now saying that. Like, imagine you're cleansed
Nice.
as soon as you reach the top. Like, if you like to climb mountains, you can create any form of healing, because you're creating it from nothing. So there's no boundaries, there's no limits. So yeah.
Beautiful. Love that. That is so awesome that you're doing this, and you don't have like this big old like some people think like they can't do this work because they have to have this and that, and but you're mostly self-taught, I would say, besides watching, learning from Paige and the guy, what was his name, Andy Porter.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's really impressive that you're right where you need to be.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
do you and Paige have any past life connections as well? Did
Yeah, we
you?
had the nun past life. In fact, when we met, she kept on calling me by a different name, and she goes, even in her cell phone,
Grace.
Grace, yeah, she had me under this different name. And one day she tried to call me, and she goes, I can't find your number. And then we found out it was under the name Grace.
And that
And
was her name in this
Wow.
lifetime.
we were
No.
both nuns in a
Yeah.
convent.
Yeah. Yeah. It was,
Wow.
yeah.
That's so
So we have,
wild.
yeah.
That's so cool. And so here you are again, kind of like nuns, but you're not. You're still doing like, God's work.
What was the story with that, Paige? What was our relationship? What was the reason we were there?
I don't know what the reason we were there. I just know that I had a lot of trauma with the priest.
Oh, yes. And I was there as like a sounding board for you.
Maybe to
Yeah.
help you out and to talk to.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
That's exactly what it was. Yeah.
the priests
Yeah.
weren't very nice men.
No, no.
Not surprised.
Yeah. That's what it was. Sorry. I needed my memory jogged. Yeah. That's what it was.
Wow. So are you guys planning on bringing this information out? You're going to put it in a book or anything? I think I asked, but I don't remember what you guys said.
We haven't thought about that part yet. Have you, Lindsey?
I don't really have the time to think or contribute to that right now. Yeah,
Nice.
that's
Future.
there's intention there, but maybe like it's not important right now. It's not number one right now. So
Nice.
yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to hearing more of your guys' stories. I think it's pretty amazing what you guys are doing. And I know you have one going on today. So I'm early, right? I can sign up or put my name on the list.
Yeah. Yeah, this evening in a couple hours. Yeah.
Yeah, how exciting. Well, Paige, did you have anything else you wanted to add?
I can't really think of anything right now.
Lindsey, anything else you wanted to add or share?
Nope.
No? All right. Well, if this is a good place to stop, we can stop here and then we can always come back in the future for a follow-up if you like. I'm so glad that you guys showed up. I say guys all the time. You gals, you ladies showed up. You know, this is amazing. I always love connecting with you. So thank you for allowing me to interview you too. So thank you. You want to
Yes,
let everybody
Thank
know
you.
where they can find you, give all your information, and then I will also put it in the description as well. But for the record, you want to just let people know all your links and stuff?
There is a Facebook group called Entity Removal and Healings in 5D. That if you want to join that group, that would be a good way to get in contact with Paige or I. I am Lindsey Smith on Facebook, and Paige is Paige Garcia on Facebook. That's probably the best place to reach us. I am a developer and I can develop websites. That's what I do for a living. I develop websites for a living every day, all day. That's what I do. So I plan on developing a website at some point. It's very time consuming. Developing takes a lot of time. And it's something I don't have extra of right now. So eventually I will have a link tree and a website and all of that good stuff. But for right now, Facebook, that's the group. If you don't have Facebook, you can contact me at quantumlindsey5d@gmail.com. Quantum Lindsey. Lindsey is spelled Lyndsey. Lyndsey. That's how you spell Lindsey.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So that's that. Thank you for asking.
I wanted to say something about our group too. Only the people that we do healings and energy clearings on, if you ask for a healing and energy clearing, or any other work to be done or questions, you're allowed in our group. And we ask donations. If you can't afford to donate, then we could also help you out. But I wanted to include that this group is only for people that we're doing. Outside people can't get into this group unless they've had a session with us. So you're free to speak freely about anything. You don't have to be afraid about somebody saying, no, that's not true, or coming down on you, you're crazy or something like that. This has never happened in our group, where somebody has called you out in your beliefs or what you do or what has ever happened to you. It cannot happen because we don't let negative people into this group. They are fully scanned on who they are.
We like to make sure they're cleared before they enter. So if you try to join, there's an approval process that takes place, and we'll have your name in the approval list, and the following Sunday we will clear you that day, and then we will approve you off the approval list after that Sunday.
Oh, I love that.
That's how we do it. So if you do try to join, there will be an approval process, and you'll have to wait for the following Sunday. But it will get done, and we will get to you. And you can also find me there and message me personally if you would like to do that as well. That's a good way to contact me, find me. So yes, and Paige is there as well. Yes,
And
I think you can see. I'm not sure if you can see the admins if you're not in the group or not. I don't know. Don't worry about it. That's fine. I've given enough information, I think.
I want to add that you can find me on Paige Garcia, Quantum Healing. I have a few YouTube videos about a few of my sessions. And I just want to tell you about one particular session. That
I want to say her website more clear for you guys first.
Thank you.
Because she just rambled that on, and I'm sure you didn't get what that was. I developed her website a while ago, a few years ago. It's Paige, Paige, Garcia, Garcia, Q as in quantum, H as in healing.com. So it's Paige Garcia, QH.com.
Thank you, Lindsay.
You're welcome.
One of my videos I think everybody needs to see, YouTube videos, is where a lady goes in, she's a spy for another planet. So that one I'm really excited about, but I've got many exciting videos. But this one, I had a vision that this lady on Facebook, that we had past lives with Marie Antoinette.
Oh, and, right.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
And so I asked her, hey, do you want to do a session together? And she agreed. And I was all excited. Yeah, I'm going to find more things about my past life with Marie Antoinette. But anyway, she didn't go to that past life. She went to a past life where she was a spy for another planet. And she landed on this planet, and she looked different, and she wondered why she looked different. And she didn't look like herself, but it was like a mask so that they wouldn't detect her. And she was in on their secret meetings where they were trying to destroy another planet. And she reported back to her planet, and they said, no, we're not going to let that happen. There's no way that we'll let one of our neighboring planets being destroyed. And so when they came in to destroy this planet, they had like this shield like you'd have on Star Wars or Star Trek, where they'd come in and you couldn't touch them. And it was just a warning. So they all left, but they decided to try to attack again. But when they tried to attack again, all their spaceships got obliterated. And so they were able to save this other planet.
I remember hearing about that. I remember you telling me about that.
And then I guided her into the life with Marie Antoinette. And that was a really interesting story too, the life with Marie Antoinette. Oh, you're on mute.
That's really cool. Oh yeah, that's really cool. Wow. And is that on your is that on your YouTube page?
Yeah, and it's also on my website.
Oh, okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm checking it out now. Look at how pretty. I love the dragons. Love your website.
Thank you.
Awesome. That is wild. That is wild though. I love that we're doing this work, honestly. I mean, the days that we're living in now, I can't say enough. Like, these are just special times. It's so wild. But with that being said, I guess I will say this sounds like a good place to stop, and hopefully we can have another follow-up soon. What do you think?
Yes, we'd love that.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you for having us. I appreciate it.
Yes. So blessings and infinite love to you both. I thank you for being on the show.
Same to
And
you.
like I said, it's going to be played on my YouTube channel and all my other places and my radio show. So I'm super excited for that. So thank you, ladies. I'll give you a few seconds on the count of 3. We can say goodbye. So 1, 2, 3. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye. And it won't let me stop it. So we'll have to stop here. So bye. I'll see you guys. I will send you copies of this and I'll edit the ending out. So love you guys.
What did
Blessings
you
and
think?
love.
What did you think? Honest. I need you to be honest.
I think you're great. I think it's great. You're ready. It's great. You're ready. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm gonna edit this part out too. So, but you know,
Okay.
you're great. Keep going. Just keep going. Just the more you do it, it'll be natural. Right, Paige?
Right.
Okay. All right.
So
All right.
keep
Thank
doing
you.
what you're doing.
Appreciate it.
Blessings
guys.
and love to you
Thank
both.
you, Mike.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay.